line starts with a dot and line ends with a dot. So if I click and drag, let's actually pick a drawing tool, a pencil, click and drag, I have that dot at the start, a dot at the end, and they're connected. But line is not always that straightforward. In this case, we have implied lines. So you could certainly have a design of multiple objects or shapes sitting in proximity of each other to create the illusion of line, a line that your eye can follow, but it's not a physical line such as you see here. You have the standard vertical, horizontal, zigzag, curly, dotted, and dashed. They're just different styles of lines, but they start with a dot, end with a dot. Okay, let's move on. Contour outline or contour lines, outlines. The edge of an object, a silhouette, they describe shape of an object. So in this case, the elephant has the most detail here, but essentially these are simply lines forming shape or outline or silhouette. Gesture lines. Gesture lines have energy. They create movement in your drawing. So when I'm looking at the horse, I feel the movement because I'm seeing these lines. They're lifted off the horse's body as though wind is lifting the hair up. So lines create that illusion of movement. They show energy. In this case, you see the tree bent over. You see the line of the grass bent over. It's implying maybe wind. You see what look like leaves perhaps blowing from the tree. We see the heat or energy from the sun, and they've given it to us in 6 different ways. Again, down here, another way to show the energy from the sun, and these are more actual flames. We see the melting or steam rising up off the iceberg. You see the tears or melting iceberg coming down the front of the formation. So gesture lines are going to have energy and show movement. And last but not least, implied lines. Implied lines. So we looked at this one in class together where we had different shapes sitting together creating the line. It's not a drawn line. This line would not be in the drawing, but it's created by the placement of the fruit. The apple is in proximity to the pumpkin, to the pear, to the second pear, and it creates an implied line. The painting we see here, there is no actual line drawn along the seashore, but a line is created by the way the water is connecting to the sand, and so you have an implied line. You have another implied line where the ships are coming way in the distance to the beach. Those are all implied lines. And last but not least, the line is created by the space that's been left between the vertical lines and the horizontal lines. So the vertical lines are really popping out. They're creating what looks like lift, and the horizontal lines are receding into the background. But there is no line at all inside this wavy space that moves down the center. Nothing is drawn there. There is no edge to it. It's simply space that has been left and has created an implied line. Now, what will you do with all this information? Your goal is to open the Starry Night painting, and you are going to do your own analysis. Look at outline and contour lines, gesture lines, and implied lines. I want you to describe where you see these and how it is used, and submit this to the Dropbox